Hello, it's Filmmakers World. Our friends, cinematographers, filmmakers. Hello, it's Darius. Hi, from Cannes.
Valentino from Filmmakers World, digital community of filmmakers, and I have two small questions for you.
Hello.
The first question that I have is, what kind of lenses you suggest for young filmmakers as a set to start with, to start a journey, to pursue a career like yours? And the second question is, in terms of Ingenieux lenses, do you have a preferred one? And do you have an anecdote according this preference?
All lenses. It all depends on the script, on the story you're telling. But all lenses can be exciting. You know, so I often thought about lenses that I would think I would never use because they're too sharp or too crisp, too sharp, too, for the story. Because I love lenses that are not necessarily very sharp. I use a camera that's supposed to be the sharpest because it's very big sensor, but I actually don't use it like this. I don't use it as a very sharp camera because I don't like these images so much. But it depends of the story. So lenses, you would start with any lenses, Valentino. My recommendation was testing. The most important thing is testing lenses. I was just talking about Ingenieux just now, and I was thinking the first thing I want to do is test these new prime lenses they have. I heard they have Ingenieux has prime lenses, you know. And I've been using Ingenieux since I was a camera assistant, I remember, or even before I was a camera assistant. I bought a camera in the late 70s. I bought a 16mm camera. And I had an Ingenieux zoom, a 120 zoom. It was an Arri camera, but I don't have this camera anymore, or the zoom. But I used recently, an anecdote I used recently, I was shooting a series of commercial. I don't shoot many commercial now, but I used to shoot a lot. And I shot a commercial recently in Paris, very artistic commercial, visually artistic commercial, very free. And I went to the rental one afternoon. Like you would do, like I would do a young student. You know, I mean, I'm not anymore, but I spent an afternoon at a rental place to test lenses. And I went there and I tested lenses. And one of the lenses that was the peak of my lens that I love was an old Ingenieux. It's not because of Ingenieux I'm saying this, but I use an Ingenieux because the guy of the rental, the person is actually a friend, Samuel at RVZ in Paris, not to tell the name. He's a great guy who was passionate about lenses. He pulled out this zoom. He said, Darius, you should really look, or one of his guys pulled out this lens. He said, look at these old zoom lenses, you know. Stanley Kubrick used a replica of this zoom for Barry Lyndon. So I was a few weeks before I shot this commercial. I said, oh, let me have it in the package for one of these commercials. Because I wanted to test it, I want to try it. So I tested on a commercial, and I shot a lot of the commercial with it. And it was not very sharp. It was I don't know, they would be able to tell you more exactly, but it was a 16mm lens that was modified for 35. And Stanley Kubrick used it apparently for Barry Lyndon for all these big, wide openings that everybody knows. Everybody knows this film. It's a masterpiece, you know. And he used it, a 16mm zoom lens, and he did all these wide. And I used it, and incredible. And it was a young artist director who was doing this commercial, and he was also fascinated by it. You know, he was a poet, and he was fascinated by it. It just happened I spent the afternoon testing lenses, you know. So this is like a new film student, you know, in a way. You need to put yourself into this all the time, you know, in order to grow. Otherwise you don't grow, you don't see anything. If you're not curious, what is distinctive from young film students, from young cameramen, is curiosity, right? If you're not curious at my age and with the movies I do, what do I do then? I should start gardening. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but should do something else, you know, or design gardens or do something different.